Hello, everyone. Welcome to Seriously Butthurt Sports. I'm back with Zach Morgan to talk quarterfinals of the NHL playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know why it keeps coming back to me either, guys. It's just a thing. It's good to be here. Yeah, playoffs. I'm enjoying it a lot. There's
Oh,
just so.
great first round.
Oh man,
Maybe a couple of surprises.
did you see how they did that hockey in every round in every part of it? It was awesome.
It was full hockey.
Awesome.
It was amazing. It was great.
Yeah,
But we have
I
a
haven't been
game. Oh, go.
I haven't been on since the five overtime game, right?
I believe so.
Oh, awesome. Ooh,
Nice
okay,
five
there we go.
overtime game. We've got a little bit of everything so far in these playoffs. Five overtimes in the very first playoff game. A couple upsets. But we'll start with Philadelphia versus the New York Islanders. They're playing in about 30 minutes, I believe, is puck drop, 25 minutes or so. This is going to be a good series. Barry Trotz has the Islanders firing in all cylinders. Philadelphia firing in all cylinders. This is going to be a good series.
I really, really like the matchup of these teams. These are two division rivals. I'm not sure that there's that level of hatred that you see between, the Flyers and Devils, Flyers and Rangers. I can't speak to that, but I do know that there is big rivalry there.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
yeah, I don't think there's that hatred, and that I think that's in part to the Islanders haven't been very prominent recently over the last few years. So
yeah, that's a fair statement.
there hasn't been
I'm not
really
gonna fight
anything
that.
for those two teams to really get at each other's throats. But hey, maybe that means we're going to be seeing a new rivalry emerge.
Maybe. I mean, there are a lot of young players on each team. I really like what Matt Barzal has been doing, particularly just all over the place, but he's been great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I want to say he's been great on the power play, but I need to look at the numbers to back up my statement because I've only seen him just dominate in pretty much every time he has the puck.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to keep track.
Yep.
But the Islanders are a team that kind of came out of the gates. They really punched the Capitals in the mouth, and you could see that the Capitals just one weren't ready and two weren't expecting it at all.
I'm trying to figure out if that Capitals Islanders series was the Islanders just played that good, or the Capitals just came out so flat and were that bad.
I want to say it's a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason they won Game 4 is because Alexander Ovechkin willed them to that victory.
Well, that's the only game that they showed any type of fight. Even in Game 5, they could barely skate.
No, they were done.
It was slow motion. They had nothing left in them. They exhausted it in Game 4, and then Game 5, they had nothing left in the tank. And
yeah,
the Islanders just put it to them. I mean, Barry Trotz is obviously doing a phenomenal job. And for the Capitals, if you want to rub some salt in the wound, they also just fired their head coach Reardon after 2 seasons. So
I really can't say that's too surprising. You have two first round exits, including one where you were the defending Stanley Cup champions and
yes.
You lost to a team that by all stretch no one expected you to lose to.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not. And I mean,
the Hurricanes were far and away the biggest underdogs going into the first round during last year's playoffs.
Yeah, and it really is sort of like Barry Trotz is like, hey, you should have kept me, to them being like, hey, this is why you should have paid me what I wanted you to pay me and not nickel and dime this. But
yep,
this series, I think it's going 7. It's going to be a hard fought back and forth series. I do think Philadelphia outlasts the Islanders just because they've been playing too good. But I think it does go the full 7 this series, just based on these two teams and how they looked in the first round.
I don't know. The Flyers showed a lot of weakness. They did show a lot of strength. Carter Hart definitely stepped up where he needed to during the matchup with the Canadiens, but the Canadiens showed a lot of holes in the armor there, and It's definitely put me on edge. I feel like the Islanders came out of the gate screaming. I feel as though the Islanders right now are playing better, and I actually like the Islanders to finish this out in 6.
Oh,
Um,
really? Okay.
Varlamov's been doing great. Been doing great. You see Matt Barzal, Anthony Beauvillier, Jordan Eberle. Everyone who's needed to step up to the plate for the Islanders, they have. And I haven't exactly seen that yet from the Flyers
Hmm.
in the sense where Carter Hart has absolutely 100% stepped up,
Oh yeah.
and no one's going to take that away. But it hasn't been consistent enough. I want to see more of Sean Couturier. I want to see more. Show me more of Claude Giroux. I know Claude Giroux has been kind of showing himself a little bit on the assist. Show me some goals, Claude.
Hmm.
Show me some goals. Because
Oh.
the guy I hated in the 2012 playoffs,
Oh,
he
yes,
was
you did.
scoring goals.
Yes, you did. And actually, your hatred for him does not stop at the playoffs.
It
But
mellowed a little bit. I've
over
gotten
the years.
older. No,
But
it took a while, long
we'll go to
while.
the
He
other
still beats
matchup.
puppy. He still beats puppies with kittens, though. Not a good guy. Not a good guy.
Well, on that note, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go down to the other matchup in the East with Boston versus Tampa Bay. They did play a game yesterday. Boston looks like they finally found their stride. They look
Boston.
like they finally found the old team that they were before the lockdown. They
Oh
went
my
up 3
God.
goals. Tampa Bay fought back. Tampa Bay woke up and started pushing towards the end of the game in the third period to make it a 3-2 game. But Boston looks like, even without Tuukka Rask, they look like they're back to their old form.
One, one. Yaroslav Halak. People have forgotten about how good he is because
Yeah.
he hasn't been in a great situation since. I'm gonna say since he left the Blues, and
Mm-hmm.
even then that wasn't a super ideal situation for him. Brian Elliott really stepped in and kind of usurped the role from him.
Yes.
But Yaroslav Halak is a solid goaltender, and he's showing why he's the best backup in the league because he's
Mm-hmm.
a starter. He's a capable starting goalie, and
Yeah.
he's stepped up. He's looked really, really good. But we can't go on with with this series if we do not talk about the power play goal by David Pastrnak and how beautiful and how beautifully played it was to set up that goal. That was
Oh, yeah.
tic-tac-toe passing in. It was a thing of beauty, and
Mm-hmm.
the shot too from Pastrnak. The shot,
Yes. Yeah. No,
perfection
Boston.
line. Their perfection line is out there, and I. This is going to be a bloodbath. This series.
Oh, yeah. But again, Boston looking like they're back to form and playing the way they are with the tic tac toe goal. I mean, it could be one of those where this could be a 5-game series, or this could go the full 7 based on what we saw from Boston last night. Boston, I think, wins it either way. I think it'll be 5 or 6 games, but I mean, with Tampa, it's not like Tampa Bay played bad. They didn't because Hedman stepped up, scored. They found their groove late in the game, but Boston, we've seen what Boston can do when they're firing on all cylinders. When they have those tic tac toe goals, it seems impossible to even beat them in anything. So I think
This
Boston takes this in 5 or 6 games because I think they found their stride. I think they're continue to play at that level.
The fact that Boston is the 4 seed right now is such a farce. They are, by all accounts, the
Oh yeah,
top seed in the East. They
yeah,
had the best record going in. It round robin, I get it. Yes, they're the 4 seed. Yes, the Lightning won all their games. Yes, the Lightning have the top seed. Great. That or no, I'm sorry, they have the 2nd seed. They lost to the
yes,
Flyers. Excuse me.
yes, yes.
That doesn't matter here. The Bruins are far and away the big brother to the Tampa Bay Lightning, which is incredible to me because the Lightning have been contenders, but they haven't gotten there
Mm-hmm.
for years now. They were
Mm-hmm.
in the Stanley Cup Finals in 2015.
Yep.
Like this is a team that they've been all right. This is their year. This is their year. This is their year. Well, you know what? This isn't their year. The Bruins are going to take them down. If things continue from what I saw yesterday, the Tampa Bay Lightning don't have a chance. They need to step up
Mm-hmm.
or they're as good as toast. If they step up, I like Boston in 6, maybe 7. If they don't, Boston in 5.
Yeah. Well, also there's something to be said for maybe Boston's playing with a little chip on their shoulder, knowing that they were the top team the entire year. Now they're the 4 seed playing a 2 seed, and they're sort of
Well,
like,
three
look,
seed, 3 seed.
3 seed, sorry, 3 seed, sort of saying, okay, we're
No,
still the
wait,
team
no,
to
they are
beat.
the 4 seed. They are the 4 seed. I'm
I
so
would say
sorry.
they came in fourth in that round
Uh,
robin.
Yeah, no, I'm so mixed up. I'm so sorry. Yeah,
You're good.
Boston's a 4 seed.
But either way, fourth seed, 3 seed, either way, Boston has that chip on their shoulder. They want to show people, no, we're still the top team in the East. So don't even try to tell us that we're not. So Boston, with the way they looked last night, they're definitely taking it. I think 5 or 6 either way. Heading over to the West, the the one blowout game yesterday. Vegas, they they just rolled over Vancouver, 5-0. They just went in, rolled over them, said, "This is our game." They're definitely looking like the team to beat in the West. I
That
mean, if Vegas keeps playing like that, they could sweep the series and just be chilling in the arenas, watching the other games.
that big brother little brother thing.
Yeah.
Vegas is looking like a team who's been here, and Vancouver is looking like a team who hasn't been here.
Mm-hmm.
That ultimately, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing two teams that are ready, and you know, with Vegas, it's funny because I this has nothing to do with anything. It's just salt in the wound for the Florida Panthers because you have guys like Riley Smith and John Marchessault who have, I believe, at least 36 playoff points between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a tweet that read, "A mean person would tweet the Florida Panthers career playoff leader in points and how many points they had. A not nice person would just leave it alone, or a nice person would just leave it alone." I'm somewhere in the middle because I looked it up. I'm somewhere in the middle because I looked it up. It's not good.
I mean, yeah. Again, Vegas showed their strengths last night, and they're
100%.
they're a third-year expansion team. They're just putting all expansion teams to shame still at this point. But based on yesterday, unless Vancouver finds a second, third, if they
I'm
unless
not
they find a
sure.
fifth or sixth gear, then Vancouver's not getting out of 4. Maybe they'll edge out one win, but
I'm not sure any other expansion team was able to acquire assets quite like the Vegas Golden Knights did during the expansion draft.
no, that is definitely true. No other expansion team
But
has had that ability.
they're absolutely taking advantage. The
Mm,
guys they've picked up, Max Pacioretty looked really, really good. Robin
mm-hmm.
Lehner might be the answer for them long term in net, but that's a bit of a touchy subject right now. I'm sure
Yes,
you're aware of the yeah.
yes.
Uh,
Marc-Andre Fleury had to have somebody take down a very not so nice tweet, to put it mildly.
I mean, yeah, it was the agent tweeted a picture of a sword going into Marc-Andre Fleury from the back as if a
Yeah.
stabbing in the back
Yep.
motion, and the sword was DeBoer.
Yeah.
So that was a thing that unnecessarily happened prior to all of this yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and the Vegas Golden Knights looked like that didn't bother them in the slightest,
Oh no.
which is great. And everyone who needed to step up was there. Marchessault and Riley Smith were huge in the game. Uh, the defense looked strong. Alec Martinez was out there making hits, and Robin Lehner was great. There's not much to really say. The Vegas Golden Knights were just dominant.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to.
Yep.
It's not that the Canucks are bad. It's just the Knights are better.
Oh yeah, and Vegas is going to take this series no matter what. Based on last night, I'll give the Canucks one win because I think they find that one game. But so I'll say Vegas in 5, but I don't see Vegas losing this series in any way, shape, or form anyway.
You're nicer than I am because I also want to point out that Antoine Roussel got a 2 minutes for interference and then a game misconduct because he tried to fight Ryan Reeves, who obviously the NHL's tough guy.
Yeah.
But Ryan Reeves didn't even put his hands up. He just kept saying something, and the gist of what I'm guessing he was saying is, "Why would I fight you right now?
Yep.
What does that give me if I fight you right now?" So then Roussel was, I believe, done for the game. But
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I feel like that's going to strike a tone. This is just two teams on two different levels. I like the Golden Knights in 4.
Okay.
Break out the brooms. I'm sorry, Canucks. Also, it helps. It helps me if the Canucks lose.
Oh, okay. So you also just get the benefit of draft.
Picks.
You get the draft pick benefit if the Canucks lose. So
Look, the Coyotes and the Canucks were not supposed to make the playoffs to the get-go. The Canucks were going to make the playoffs regardless, but I do not. But this is not how this was supposed to go. We were going to get this is going to be great. We're going to get a top pick and, two picks, 2 first round picks around like 15, 16-ish. Wrong.
Gotcha.
So wrong.
Yeah.
You make do with the situation, though. You make do.
Well, now rounding it out with the final game, final series, we have the Avalanche versus the Stars. They had the first game in the second round they played.
To break down in that game.
Yes, Stars wound up winning 5-3.
But the Stars came out of the gate really hot.
They did, and when I watched the highlight, I mean, at least 2 of their goals were just poor play on the Avalanche's part in the defensive zone. I mean, just very poor play. The first goal of the game was just a turnover in the defensive zone that you can't have by the Avalanche. There's another, I forget if it was the second or third goal that the Stars scored where a guy was back checking. He just waves his stick at it. It just very poor defensive play in the defensive zone by the Avalanche. They still did what they always do. They still fought back. Their top line was performing. McKinnon with 2 goals. Landeskog finally got a goal in the second period. So the top line was playing. But really the thing is the Avalanche have also lost Grubauer and they lost Johnson.
Yeah, we can't well, first of all, in that first period, after I believe was it the third goal was scored? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm genuinely asking.
That Grubauer was out.
I think Grubauer led in 3, and then he went down. And look, I know people like to be vague about injuries, but it looked to me like he injured the groin region of his body, which is bad if you're a goalie. You need your groin to not be torn apart. So I'm based on just that, and also the way that he was not able to put any weight on his entire side. That to me is red flag. Don't get me wrong. Francouz, he looks good, but
it's going to be interesting to see what
happens.
It's very
tough, especially without Erik Johnson, who had the NHL's best smile. He was voted the NHL's best smile, and you know what? It's a fantastic smile. Love it.
Well deserved award, Erik Johnson.
Oh my God, so well deserved. But it's very tough because Erik Johnson is quietly one of the very big stabilizing forces on that defense, and it's a good thing they were able to put it together and fight back. Ultimately, they couldn't do enough.
Yeah,
but they did show fight.
Without Grubauer and Johnson, it's going to be interesting. I mean, again, Pavel Francouz, he's a capable backup. He's capable of playing in there. He's shown that. Erik Johnson out, that does hurt the defense. I mean, and even in Matt Calvert also is going to be out for the Avalanche in game 2 as well. He missed game 1.
The bodies are piling up early for the Avalanche, and that's not a good sign for playoff success.
No, not at all.
Especially when one is your starting goalie.
Yes. So, I mean, unless Pavel can do the thing where he's the backup goalie that comes in and just pulls a playoff series out of nowhere.
Jordan Binnington was an AHL goaltender.
Yeah. So it's not unheard of. We've seen it happen before. I'm hoping Pavel could be the next one to do it, but it is concerning to see both Grubauer and Johnson go down in game 1. Again, bright spots. McKinnon is scoring. Landeskog finally got his first goal, so the top line is performing, which that can just be a catalyst for the rest of the team, I'm hoping. I mean, I'm going to stick with my Avalanche. I'm going to say they get it done in 7, though. This is going to be a hard-fought series here on out. So I'm going to take them in 7. Again, mainly because they're my team. I'm not gonna go against them. But game 2 is gonna be interesting to see with Pavel starting and no Erik Johnson. We'll see what happens. I mean, definitely not what I wanted to see out of game 1.
Yeah, as an Avalanche fan, I'm impressed that you have that optimism. But honestly, after you watch there's a goal, the goal by Nathan McKinnon that I believe opens everything up, where he just kind of takes the puck and he starts charging through charging through the center of the ice. The power that's being generated from his legs, that shot was a thing of beauty, and I don't want to take away from that. but that was the best thing that the Avalanche did as a team that whole game.
Oh yeah.
The Stars came out ready to play. Miro Heiskanen came out ready to play. I'm not saying Cale Makar didn't, but Miro Heiskanen was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
John Klingberg was also everywhere. He made that big, deep pass that led to the goal after he took a hit. I really, really like what Dallas has done. And look, this is a team that took the last year's Stanley Cup champions, the St. Louis Blues, to double overtime in Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
They were that close to knocking off the champs, and then who knows from there.
Yep.
But that, from what I've heard, that was a big catalyst for them, and that has given the Dallas Stars a lot of confidence going forward that this is a team that can do it. And I absolutely believe it. I really, really like Dallas here.
Mm-hmm.
Even more so if Bishop can come back and get in net. But Kudobin has been nothing short of spectacular. So
Yeah.
give me Dallas in 6.
Damn. Okay. I mean, look, they're
Yeah.
more than capable. I'm not saying they're not. But again, opening up the 7, like I said,
But
couple of goals. A
that
couple of
prediction is also banking. I'm sorry. That prediction is also banking on Tyler Sagan's puck luck in the playoffs increasing dramatically.
Gotcha.
That guy is so snake bit in the playoffs. It's absolutely absurd.
Oh yeah. But again, like I said, at least 2 of the goals were poor defensive plays on the Avalanche's part, which is why I still have that optimism. I do believe they'll shore that up and sort of get that wake up call. Like, look, we have to play better in the
they have the
defensive zone.
pieces. They
Oh
have the
yeah,
pieces.
they no
Samuel
doubt do.
Girard's nothing short of great. Cale
Mm-hmm.
Makar is spectacular. Ian Cole?
Yep.
Yeah, Ian.
Yep.
See, Ian Cole's a guy I know about.
You know about it. Yeah, no,
yeah, I know about it. He
so
plays
yeah,
defense.
I think Bednar is going to be able to get the team back to be like, hey guys, come on, we're better than this. We can play defensive hockey better than this. So I do believe they get back on track, play a little better. They even without Grubauer and Johnson, they find a way to put those wins together. I do think it goes full 7, especially without Grubauer or Johnson. This is going to be a full, hard fought, full on game, but I just can't bet against my Avalanche, especially with the offensive firepower that they have and firing in all cylinders. So, like I said, I'll
Yeah,
take the Avs in 7 still.
yeah. And speaking of guys firing on all cylinders, I'm surprised you haven't mentioned this, but Nazem Kadri
Oh
has
yeah,
been
yep,
so
yep.
good. That is looking like a really good trade
Oh,
for the Colorado
it's
Avalanche.
a phenomenal trade so far. He's been everywhere. He's been absolutely everywhere. Last
And it,
series, he played a huge part in.
since the start of the return of play, he
Yeah,
scored the game winner with less
yep,
than a
yep,
tenth of a second left on the clock.
yep. That's a great pickup. I love that pickup. It is paying dividends right now, and that's another reason why with how well he's playing, I'm hoping he steps it up even further to another gear to just make up for the loss in Eric Johnson. So it'll be it's gonna be a lot more interesting to watch now.
Look, yeah,
So
and there's that man. That man doesn't lack fire to play with. He
oh,
comes
no,
out. He comes out and he puts everything on the line anytime he's on the ice.
and he
And
shows it. He doesn't even hide it. He just shows it.
no, he
It's
doesn't
all
show it for
over his
better or for
face.
worse. As Toronto will tell you, for better or for worse, it absolutely shows.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm still hoping the Avs can get through. I'm still calling Avalanche Flyers Stanley Cup, unless Boston Boston will probably make me eat those
Oh, I've
words because Boston will come out of the gate and be like, "Screw you, Philly."
oh,
But
I think I've had to waver completely. Honestly, right now, given the teams that are remaining, I understand it's changing up the prediction, but everything changes. So
it's hockey. This happens all the
yeah,
time.
it, everyone's wrong. That's a thing that happens. But
Yes.
I really, I really like Dallas Vegas conference final.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, though, that series would be tough if it were to happen. Knock
Mm-hmm.
on, I don't want to jinx anything. But I still like Vegas to pull it out and give me Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Vegas pulls through. I think Vegas pulls through over Boston.
I mean, at this point, with the way these teams. Again, it's the NHL. Anything could happen. There could be any combination of teams right now in the Stanley Cup Finals. But
The only thing that's
it's going to
hopefully
be
not.
fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
here's hoping. Here's to seeing what continues to happen. Again, if you're new to the NHL playoffs, one of the most fun things to watch in sports because you literally don't know what is going to happen day in and day out.
Yeah, the players do this thing that's called back checking in the playoffs. And the reason that they can't do that during the regular season is because they will die.
just a little, just a
Just
little. Although
end statement.
you also did get a little bit of your wish granted from I think it was the previous episode where they have shown a little bit more of players doing stuff off the ice.
Oh my God,
There's
yes,
been a
it's been
couple things.
really nice.
There's been spike ball. There's been ping pong. They've started
Yeah,
showing a little bit of that
they're letting the players have,
personality.
yeah,
That thing they
personality,
don't normally have in the
that
NHL.
thing they don't normally have. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch. With all the sports that are happening right now, I finally started catching basketball. Luka Doncic. People know I've been talking about this kid since the build up to the draft. Luka Doncic is the truth, and he showed it yesterday. Yes,
Well,
he did. Oh yeah,
yeah.
Batman.
Well, I mean, everyone can go and look that up for themselves. This is all hockey here,
If
but
they don't know about it,
oh, I mean, if they don't know about it, there's then I don't
there's
know
an
where
issue.
you've been. There's an issue. But again, NHL playoffs getting just as exciting as they always are.
Yep.
Zach, thank you for joining me once again.
Of course, of course. As always, I'm going to just give myself a little shameless plug here. Give me a follow on Instagram. I did change it up a little bit. Pay attention. It's Zacharius,
Ooh,
Zaicharius. There is a reason for that will be revealed in time. But until then, that's the Instagram account to follow. The Twitter handle has remained the same for now, Captain_Z Morgan.
nice. And as always, look out for our other episodes. We have a baseball episode coming out again. That'll be launching on Wednesday. We're going to be doing those baseball episodes hopefully weekly. Zach, I'll see you
Thanks for
again
having
once these
me.
quarterfinals are over and we're going into the semis. But for now, have a great night, bud.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, bud.